Okay, we're here with the legend of metal. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello all you guys, this is Johan from Candlemass. You are listening to Tinnitus radio station.
Thank you so much for your time, Johan. The Door to Doom came out on Napalm Records. First of all, congratulations with the album. It's really great. It's the first Candlemass full-length album since 2012. Can you tell us a bit more about recording the album?
Actually, most of the recordings were already done when I got in. And I don't know if you know the whole story, but I can take it short here.
I knew that the writing was already done for the album, and they wrote it with the previous singer in mind.
Yeah, actually, with Mats. And I got in, they called me up on, I think, on a Saturday and talked to me about joining them again. And on the next Sunday, the day after, we went to the studio and I listened to the songs. And I said, wow, I like the songs. I'm definitely in if you want me to. Yeah. So actually we started the recording right away.
I'll come back to that later because in a way pretty much everyone was surprised that now you agreed to join the band, because in the past you didn't want to, but I'll come back to that later. The first song was released, Astrolus, the Great Octopus, and it features Tony Iommi. Do you know how that worked out?
No, I know that Leif has been a great Black Sabbath fan for all of his life, and I've heard that Tony Iommi didn't do that many things like this, and it was all set up when I got in. But I think it could have happened because he knows that Leif is a big Black Sabbath fan and he's been around for so many years.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm a Black Sabbath fan as well. So
it's hard to love metal and not like Black Sabbath.
Yeah, it is. That's for sure.
Yeah. There's also a video clip for the song, for Astrolus. Can you tell us a bit more about the concept of the video? Were you involved in the making of the video, or was it outsourced to...
No. As I told you, it all happened very quickly. The day I started on that Sunday, and then the album had to be done within a month. And during the same time, there were 3 gigs. Actually, I think 4, but one got cancelled. So my head was just spinning around, doing a gig, into the studio to finish the record and work full time at the same time. So I have nothing to do with the choreography within the video, no.
The album contains 8 tracks. One of the songs is a recorded version of House of Doom. Do you know why the band decided to re-record it? Did they think that the material was more appropriate to your voice, or is it mainly because it's one of the songs that fits right in the concept of the album, or is it because it was only released as part of the previous EP?
When I got in, it was meant to be on the album in the first place. So if there was anything else going on before that, I don't know actually. But I heard the song and I really love that song too, yeah.
Have you recorded extra songs when you were in the studio, or so do you have extra material that can be used on future special editions, or is that the only thing that was recorded, or can you not tell us already?
I can't tell you right now, but I can tell that you never know.
So probably some more material. That's Wheel might be my favorite Candlemass song from the last 20 years. Have you already performed it live? I have not seen it on any set list.
No, we haven't done Death Wheel yet. No, sorry. But I also like that song very much. The very first time I heard it, my God, what is going on? But then after a couple of listenings, my God, I love this one.
for those who don't know that they really need to check it out. I'm trying to come back on what you said before. So you joined the band as the permanent singer in 2018. You mentioned that you were called up and you decided the day after that you wanted to be part of the band. Before they had, if I'm not mistaken, they had already asked you many times over the years, but you didn't want to join it.
No.
Also because you were in Jonah Hex. That was one of the Okay,
At the very first time with the album Epicus, I was involved pretty much in Jonah Quiz, and we were actually having a pretty good time exactly that time. So that's why I wanted to continue with my own stuff. It was very close to my heart, of course, and that's the reason in the first place. But after that, we've never discussed that they wanted me to join the band as a permanent member. But they called me up. I think it's around 2007 for an anniversary show, and I was wondering why. People want to hear Epicus with you. And
you played at Roadburn as well a couple of years ago.
Roadburn, 70,000 tons of metal, and a couple of other countries. I don't exactly remember them all, but we've known each other all the time through the years.
So you stayed in touch. You were still friends.
And since 2007, when those one gig a year started, we've kept the contact all the time. So. But then I got that final call that Sunday.
Can we see the cover artwork of the Door to Doom as a nod to your return, because it's a throwback a bit to the first record cover? It looks alike with the skull. It's the first time that the skull is that big with impaired.
Okay.
Is it inspired by the first artwork? Is it saying we have our original singer back?
I don't know. I don't know anything about that either. But some people say that it's a kind of a follower to Epicus.
The singer of one of the most legendary metal albums, who was an inspiration perhaps on even a genre. You joined the legendary band again. Fans' reactions were very enthusiastic. They couldn't believe that you finally agreed to join again. Didn't it put a lot of pressure on you? Have you never been thinking, what did I get myself into? With all the extra stress.
You mean if I regret that?
Yeah, with the stress. That as well, but also the stress.
But you do your choices in life, and I'm not that kind of person that regret anything. I've been into music all of my life, different things, and someone thought that I was a pop guy, but I'm not a pop guy. My heart is in heavy metal music, and it has always been. Where were we?
About the stress now as well, because
the stress. I feel very comfortable in this situation, and the very first gig we did in Norway, the time in September. The recording at the same time to get a whole gig into my head again. That was very important for me to do that gig okay. And afterwards I felt that we did it, because it was such a it was pretty much to do that that month.
For those who don't know your career outside of Candlemass, you have been in a couple of other bands, but have you always lived from music, or have you done other jobs as well?
I have my ordinary job, and I've had it all the way through. So I've been working full time all of my life. So I've had the music like a kind of a hobby. I've got a bunch of kids, and now I've got a lot of grandchildren too. So I've been a pretty busy guy.
And what, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of job do you do besides being in the band?
Actually, right now, I'm actually working for my sons. They've got their own company, so I'll help them out with whatever they need me to do. And I used to work in a school before that, but I quit that job because I didn't think it was fair to the children. Sorry, I'm leaving for a week, and so I didn't like that situation. So I told them that I want to quit this job because of that. It's not fair to the children. So now I'm working with my sons, and I can work whenever I want to, and there is no problem if I have a week off.
And your sons are probably not going to say, "No, Dad, you can't go on tour."
Probably not. Hopefully not.
Perhaps a very hard or even a silly question, but what are, in your opinion, the biggest differences between Epicus Doomicus and the Door to Doom? Between, on one way, recording the album and the albums themselves.
The recording was done now with Marcus Udell, and he's been amazing. I actually know him, so we had a very good working relationship, and he's so, what do you say, musical. He's very good to work with, and we did the songs pretty fast actually. And he can hear exactly with this one. We got it. Continue. So, and I think the Epicus. I don't know if it was just a couple of days to do the whole album, my vocals, or actually a couple of nights after work. So it was very fast, but charming when you hear it afterwards. Yeah.
You were hired as a studio singer or musician.
Yeah, you could say so. They were looking for a vocalist at that time, and they knew that I had my own band, and I wanted to continue with that. But they asked me anyway, could you do the album anyway? Yeah, you know the circumstances. I would love to do it, because to do an album at that time is not exactly to do the same as to do an album now.
They could never imagine how big it would become.
No one could. No way. Some people even said that, my God, what is this crap?
You have a very loyal fan base. Earlier this year you did a tour with Ghosts. I know quite a lot of people who really don't like Ghosts, who hate Ghosts, but they paid good money just to see Candlemass.
Yeah.
You have some very hardcore fans.
Yeah.
Is it something that still surprises you? Do you have some crazy fan stories, or are most of your fans now middle-aged and well-behaved?
The big difference I can tell is that used to be older guys and women, and now there are also kids coming. Want me to sign their records, and so that's pretty amazing. We found a new generation.
With a high quality album like that, it's it would be not normal if you didn't find an audience, but it's a great album. So I have a question. How do you decide on a set list for a show like today? I checked some of the more recent set lists.
Yeah.
Most often you play about 11 songs, 4 from Epicus, 3 from Nightfall, 3 from The Door to Doom, and 1 from Ancient Dreams and Tales of Creation.
Yeah.
It's a hard decision to make.
Yeah, but as you know, it depends on the time. I think we have music now for about 100 minutes or something like that. So, here we can only do 50 minutes, at another place 1 hour and 50 minutes. So it depends on, but we have to, our ambition is to have a good mix of everything, because you have to play some of the old songs.
Wouldn't you?
Every gig.
Every fan wants to hear some from the old favorites, but on the other hand, wouldn't you prefer to play the new album in its entirety?
Yeah, but we do. We do a couple of songs from the new album. So it's a mix of everything. You know, if we take 5 songs from the new album, then there's not much time left.
Probably today you will be able to play 8 songs, something like that. I guess. Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I think it's about yeah. Will you check out some of the other bands today, or do you need to travel to another festival?
Actually, we're leaving in the morning to another gig.
Okay.
I think it's France. I'm an old man. There's so many.
But you might be able to check out some of the bands today.
Yeah, of course. I think we're going back at around 8 o'clock. So of course I'm going to go out and have a look to see some other bands. Of course.
I have a last question. If you could organize your own festival with your 3 or 5 artists, dead or alive, they don't have to be hard rock or metal, who would you pick? Perhaps already Black Sabbath, or?
I would pick Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and Queensryche, the old Queensryche.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time.